back to another episode of the GameDay Squad Rugby League show. Josh and I back again for another week, and I say that like it's some breaking news. We're here every week, Josh, and you know what else happens every week? I get the win. I'm up 5-4. How does it feel? You blew a 4-2 lead.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Tough pill to swallow. 3 weeks in a row. I take the loss again, and it's hit hard, this one. I finished 200th, over 200th.
Oof.
And I haven't fallen that hard all season. So good on you.
Thanks,
Got the
mate.
lead finally.
Finally, yeah, if you want to put it like that. But you're so confident in last week's episode, so just want to let everyone know that I'm back on top. I'm not sure who they're backing. We should probably get people to let us know who they back here. But I finished with a rank of 79 and a score of 927. So I think usually a score of 927 doesn't get you in the top 100. Like, it doesn't always get you in the top 100.
No, not always. It was a tough week for us.
It was a weird week.
A tough week.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries.
And a fair few upsets.
Yeah, a few upsets. So a lot of people playing. I know your Nico Hines probably got you up there.
Nico did all right. The last few weeks, yeah. But a lot of people probably banking on him with like maybe gold or platinum diamond cards.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't have that Sean Johnson diamond, maybe you went up further.
Yeah, the platinum card, yeah. And
that's it. That's game day squad, but it's hard. Every player has to be hitting their high scores, or else you're not going to make the top 50.
100% right. So I got up 5-4, rank 79, score 927. You were just outside 200?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to say the exact number, but it's all right. We'll move on. We'll go straight away to I'll put this out there. My prediction was wrong. I said Cleary and Hines to both get over 80. Hines didn't get over 80, and Cleary got dropped. So I put him away. So, yeah, that was a bit disappointing. But, like, a lot of things that I thought would happen would happen. Yeah, they did. They really did.
For my squad. For my squad this week.
Yeah, well, the Bulldogs, they've got a tough one this week coming up against. I mean, I noticed you got the hat on. You guys got the win.
We'll talk about it later.
We're going to strike, spare, misses. My strike, Jermaine Asako. I think I was telling you got to play him this week if you got him. I had a gold card, so he scored 81, but for me it was 97. When he scored a hat-trick, I remember I sent you a text saying, you're playing Asako. Because honestly, that's another upset. Dolphins beating the Cowboys, but they've just been finding a way to just score on his side. Like Asako is always a likely try scorer. And then he's been offered the boot the last couple of weeks, but I feel like he did all right against Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say it's an upset, but when your coach is Wayne Bennett, is it really an upset?
And when the Cowboys are an upsetting club, is it really an upset?
Yeah. It's tough words, but yeah, Sarko, goal kicker, even if he is off with the boot, he's going to do well on the ground. So 3 tries, how many line breaks? 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think he got 3.
3 line breaks.
3 tries, kicked at least 4 goals.
What was his score?
Was it 28-26?
What was his score?
81, but with the gold card, the multiplier, 97.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice score.
Yeah, score that none of your players probably got this week. So here's my strike. Who was yours?
Oh, my strike was Viliami Kikau. A 76 with a silver card. Very good, but that was my highest scoring player. So you were right.
Yeah, well.
7 tackle breaks for the big Fijian. I'll tell you
7?
7 tackle breaks. That's the only stat I need to read out, because 7 tackle breaks is what you need for a game for Viliami Kikau. Just play him every week. And doggies are loving that left edge now. Matt Burnham's
About time, man.
Matt Burnham's loving the link up with Kikau. And obviously then he's got Sherry and Fox to his left. So he can either draw and pass or go himself, which we've seen the last few weeks. So if you don't have Kikau, look to bring him in. Maybe a tough one this week against Penrith. But it's his biggest challenge. So if he does well, might be, top. He's in the top 3 Dalian.
Yeah.
So,
and up against a former club. He wants to give it to them.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Kikau's pushing up to the score of 100 this week. If Matt Burnham gets in the ball early.
That's a bit too confident. I don't think it will, but
I'll play him again.
You'll play him again. I don't blame you. My spare this week, someone who I probably won't play again. I've got him in just purely because of matchup, and that's what you got to do. To be the best coach, you got to pick your matchups and pick them wisely. And I thought I did. I got in Sione Katoa from the Sharks.
Yep.
He had a good couple of weeks. He scored 43. I got a gold card. Ended up with 51. It's okay. It's not special. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
The Sharks scored 20 points against the Dragons. I think Katoa's tackle breaks got me the points.
Yep.
honestly, he didn't have a line break, didn't score a try. Sometimes you see him like gun it down the wing and pass it back inside, and there was none of that. So I think it was just a flat game. It was a wet game.
A lot less side footy.
Yeah.
Down the middle.
So, yeah, maybe I should check the weather forecast first. Maybe that would have been a better option. But either way, not bad. But
Sharks, you'd probably predict Sharks to score a high scoring game, but obviously the weather and Dragons actually defended not too bad.
Yeah, they defended their backsides off, honestly. But yeah, no, he's a spare. He's definitely not a miss.
Yeah, not a miss. But for me, Brayley, 44. Not a bad score.
Yeah.
Not a bad score, but the department where I'm struggling in is playing, do you play a bench or an extra middle? And I'm going back and forth between it. I'm like, maybe, 44 is not bad. I think, if you're looking for a duo, I go Harry Grant and Brayley.
Was that a bench hooker,
Yeah,
Brayley, or
bench
did you
hooker.
start? Yeah.
So
you can't do two hookers.
It's hard. Yeah, I've always said you can't do two hookers, but then so many injuries to a lot of players. It's like you can't play them or you can't fit a gold card into. It's like you have to play a silver. And
it depends on what you got in the squad, eh?
Little things that impact your squad. But yeah, like you said, I've decided to. He is a spare, but I am leaving him out this week.
Yeah.
For a silver Victor Radley. So
yeah, well, Radley's back. I'm not sure how they'll manage his minutes, but I mean, 44 is an okay score.
Bad. It's not bad.
And like if we look at the matchups, which is obviously what we pride this on all the time, the Knights have the Tigers. Still, obviously, Ponga's out for the whole season. Do we see Brayley? Wait, you're talking about Blake Brayley?
Blake Brayley.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blake Brayley. Okay, Sharkies. My bad. I thought you were talking about Jaden Brayley.
My bad.
So they got Melbourne.
Yeah. Which is
Surely the tackle count just goes up and up and up.
Yeah, it's true.
You could see, I don't know, maybe 54 point game from him.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a tough one to think about, but I'll let you struggle with those choices. My miss, Cameron Munster, which is a shame because he was so solid in previous weeks. But I got him as a miss because 38 points, and how did he not destroy that Gold Coast Titans side?
That's true.
Do you have him there as well?
He's not my miss because I had someone
Jerome Hughes?
definitely worse than that, no. But I don't know how he didn't score more. I don't know if it's the fact that Pappenhausen got injured and kind of messed up the system. I reckon he could have scored higher if Pappenhausen's out there. But yeah, definitely off game for Munster. I think he does bounce back this week. I would hold him. I'm going to hold him for sure.
Yeah.
But
the Sharks,
I just think it was just a off game for Munster.
it could have been an off game, but then Sharks defend so well that it's like, do I play Munster again or do I look to do something different? And I got the Platinum Sean Johnson card, which I won't be using against my Mighty Roosters just because I feel like Sean Johnson won't. I don't think the Warriors will put up much of a fight against us, to be honest. So I don't want to play him. And I've got Nico, Jerome Hughes, and Munster, and they're all versing each other.
Well, Hughes is out.
And yeah. So
Yeah. So that's
it's tough. I could run with a Munster and then have to pick a couple others.
We got Wishart and halves. Wishart and Munster. So you assume Munster's going to take
control.
Most of the load of the ball playing. So
Pappenhausen and Hughes out.
Yeah, big outs. So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, who was your miss?
My miss? A player that's just been in and out of my squad all year, Cobbo. Scored 14 points.
14, Selwyn, mate.
It's tough.
Against the Mighty Roosters. Ambushed in their own backyard.
I just don't think he touched the ball, to be honest. He just didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
Which is not what you want to see. I kind of, while I was looking for the update, I was like, I'm not going to check his score because I already know what it's going to be. But I don't know, a few injuries during the game. Yeah, a few injuries during the game. Players just didn't want to get hands on the ball.
Mariner got sin binned.
Mariner, yep. And just the ball was not getting to him. So it makes you question if you have a game like that. Like, you're not going to see a game from Brian Toller where he just doesn't want to get involved.
Yeah.
So when a player doesn't want to get involved, it kind of like forces you to leave him out of the squad.
Yeah. Whereas sometimes Toller might not be as active, but it won't deflate his points as such.
Correct.
Because he's still going to get those base stats that we look for.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's another week of strike spared misses done and dusted. I think based off all of that, we should head straight into the radar. So, on the radar this week, I've got 2 players.
Oh, yeah? You love it.
I love it. I love the 2 players. Just keep my options open. And I also love it for feedback from yourself and from the community. So, I'm looking for feedback with this one because I've been looking at this player, and I know I say this almost every week. I've been looking at this player all season. But honestly, this person for me is a bit of a tricky one because you see a lot of players leave Melbourne and people talk shit like, oh, they're not good once they leave Melbourne. But there are some hard workers that get through the hard work week in, week out. And one of them have left Melbourne, gone to the Dragons in what's been such an underrated signing, in my opinion. And he'll tackle absolutely anything. That's Eisenhuth. And I just think 66 out of 67 tackles.
Wow.
He missed one tackle and he made 66 tackles.
80 minutes?
In 80 minutes against the Sharks. You said everything was through the middle. We mentioned it was a wet game. There wasn't much, there weren't many points on offer at all. 30 points between the whole game, right? 2010 was the full-time score. He's just a rock-solid defender. Like, I'm just thinking if he's going to be averaging high numbers or above 50, we talk about people who are like, oh, we're not sure about the matchup this week or it's a very tough round. Eisenhuth, he's going to make his tackles, get through his work.
True.
Flano seems to be loving him.
I'm amazed by that. 67 tackles.
66 made and one missed. Yeah.
What's the record? Isn't that like close to the record?
I think the record's some ridiculous 70 by like, we'll have to check that. But I do think
the fitness is
wild.
wild.
The mic just doesn't miss tackle. But honestly,
the fitness is wild.
Yeah, so.
I mean, why not? If he definitely deserves to be on the radar.
Honestly, even in Melbourne, he just tackled everything.
Yeah, true. It's a mindset.
Yeah, mind over matter. But the Dragons still don't matter, unfortunately. But maybe they will against South this week. But it's not a tipping show. It's a fantasy show. So back to it. Who's on the radar for you this week, Josh?
Mate, no surprise for me. Probably on a lot of players, a lot of coaches' minds. Matthew Burton. Mate, he's playing some great footy.
Is this why you're down 5-4?
It's also why I'm wearing the hat. But
you got kick out. Now you're talking about Burton. Do you really think Burton against Penrith is on the radar?
Yeah. I really do. I think you're going to see his left side buzzing. It's going to be buzzing. That's going to be woofing. It's going to be barking. They're going to be firing, mate. I'm telling you right now. A little short-boarded kick out straight through. Who's tackling him? Dylan Edwards, maybe? Maybe?
Literally anyone from Penrith.
Maybe. But we're talking about big kicks here. He's going to kick through, mate.
So are you relying on kick-ass performance to determine how well Burton goes?
I'm saying it as definitely a radar watch, yeah. I'm not saying play him, but I'm saying you play kick out.
You're saying look at him.
But watch Matt Burton. Just watch how he goes this week because he's finding his feet in the halves now. It's taken him a couple seasons, but, as long as you get there.
Yeah, all good things take time, but the Bulldogs, for your sake, I hope they're not, all bark, no bite. But I don't know. I don't see Burton as that guy yet.
When he's in Origin, when he's playing for New South Wales, defending our state, you say otherwise.
All right, mate. And the second player on the radar, plays for the Gold Coast Titans. I think he carries this team, and it's not David Fafita. Who do you think it is?
Both for more?
No. AJ Brimson. Yeah, Fermor, rock solid defender, but I wouldn't have him in my squad because we haven't seen the attacking upside.
Yeah.
Probably because of the changes in the halves. But anyway, he just keeps on showing up no matter what position he plays in. He hasn't scored super well, but in the last couple of weeks he has, and I've seen him be more active. And I can see him now. I can finally see him as a consistent player who can break the line and score a try, no matter if he's playing center, 5'8", fullback. I just think he knows how to get shit done.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on the radar for me.
Well, I just can't believe at the start of the season he wasn't going to be their fullback. I found it very strange.
Yeah, I found that strange.
And, the start to the season really showed it. It wasn't the right call from Big Deds. He has to be fullback. And when Jaden Campbell comes back, I'm not sure what they're going to do.
You got to let Campbell run around at 14. The Titans have so many good players. I know they copped massive injury with Tino out, but they could reshuffle that whole pack at the front and make things almost 10 times better. Like, honestly, I'd love to be in charge of their lineup just to see how they'd go because, we don't want to get too much of a technical deep dive into them, but you've seen a player like Aaron Clark just rip and tear last year and the year before. And you're like, why isn't this guy there starting 13? And why don't you have Verrills at 9, put Randall on the bench as sort of like a forward utility, and then you can have Jaden Campbell come in to fill in any position in the back line or to break up the game and add more attacking spark than two massive props on the bench, which we know they have. It's it's a real weird one for me. And like Fermo and Fafita, 80-minute players on the edge, like they've got so much going for them in that regard that I feel like they should have been able to leave Brimson where he is and just let him do his thing in attack. But they've struggled to do that on multiple occasions. But he looks like he wants to represent the Gold Coast. He's playing for the jersey, he's playing for the coach, playing for the fans, the club. I just think someone like him could have left ages ago, gone to a Sydney team, been spoken about non-stop.
Yeah.
But he's chosen to be there. And back to Game Day Squad, I think he is a point scoring machine when he's on. Now it's hard to know if he's on or not, and like as in every week. That's why I'm not telling you, hey, let's head to the transfer market this week and select this bloke. But he's got to be on your radar because he's definitely on mine. Like, where do you see the points coming from the Titans if it's not for Fafita?
Yeah, I mean, definitely off the creativity of Foreign, but AJ brings that spark, kind of the finishing touch to it. Kind of like it's kind of like the same with Chad Townsend and Scotty Drinkwater on the right. Like Chad Townsend's not too flashy, but as soon as you add Scotty in there, things happen. So
yeah, a lot of things happen.
Like sometimes it doesn't work out, but most times it does.
Happy with that. What about you? Anyone else on the radar, or are you going to go to another Bulldogs player?
Just one player. That's it. Matt Burton.
No Jacob Carraz this week.
Just keep an eye. Well, he's already
there.
He's already there.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on now. We'll go into the transfer market. Then we'll answer some fan questions again to get into the stats don't lie. So the transfer market this week, I've selected 2 players here. One of them is a bit of a joke one because it's Adam Fanua-Blake, and I couldn't end up buying him last week. That's why I put him in.
Yeah.
He didn't have the best week last week, probably one of his worst.
Yep.
He's up against, and it still wasn't bad. He's up against my Roosters this week. I'm like, do I bring him in? Do I hold off? But he's just going to stay on my transfer market, and I'm not going to take him off that list until I've purchased him.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
I want your advice, Josh.
Yeah.
You've had him for the whole season. Do I bring him in?
Listen, for my sake, probably not. That's all I got to say.
The answer is yes. The answer is then yes. So, Josh, you've helped me out with that one. Transfer market, I've got another Titans player. We spoke about attack. We spoke about the main man in the club right now, David Fafita. He scored 82 points without a try. You spoke about what was it, 7 tackle breaks from kick out?
Yeah.
Fafita got double that.
That's wild.
And 3 offloads against Melbourne in a losing side without even scoring a try. 82 points, bronze card.
Yeah.
It's time.
It'd be nice to have him. Nice to have
and I think Des is going to have him play 80.
Yeah. Probably needs to.
They experimented the bench thing.
Not going to work out.
I don't know. The Titans aren't up there.
Yeah.
And Fafita is. He's going to need a start. Yeah. Who's on your transfer market list?
Well, mine is a player who's been back for a couple of weeks.
Bulldogs?
Big player. Payne Haas. Back into the squad.
Purchase him?
Definitely need him. I think longer minutes, probably over 60 minutes coming up, probably most likely for him.
Yeah.
A few like guns on the bench, but I don't think anyone's going to take over Payne Haas in the middle because with that 15-minute, 20-minute break, comes back on and he's firing, man.
They got Parra this week who are without
Bit weaker.
Moses and Gutho.
Bit weak. I think, he's going to be looking for the ball down the middle, slow down Parra.
Yeah,
obviously they've
sure.
got good defenders in the middle, but give it the second half and anything can happen, especially with Payne Haas.
Yeah, it definitely is. I just hope he finds form leading into Origin because our forward pack isn't looking...
Yeah, we need him to.
Yeah. Enough said. Don't want to get into Origin. It's a touchy topic. Soon. We've been hurt for many years.
Soon.
Now, before we get into the stats don't lie in our prediction, which is what we always finish up on, we thought we'd get into the fan questions since we got a few this week. So thank you everyone in the comment section, DMs, but most of them have been coming from the Discord. So make sure you join the Discord for Game Day Squad. Honestly, there's so much good chat there.
Yeah.
We've got 3 fan questions this week. I'll roll straight into them. First one, Grant or Robson at hooker? I'll let you know about the matchup. So Harry Grant of the Melbourne Storm will be coming up against the Cronulla Sharks. Reece Robson of the North Queensland Cowboys will be facing the Titans.
Harry Grant.
Reece Robson. I think Melbourne's attack doesn't rely on Harry Grant. I know they've got 2 of their spine players out, but I think it'll just be the Munster show and Harry just give the ball to the forwards and get through your work in defence, and that's all I need. I think that's what Munster will be telling Harry Grant. Whereas Cowboys, I still feel like, even though they're favourites going into this match, I feel like Titans have been playing better football than them. And I think the Cowboys are under a whole bunch of pressure. They've lost 4 games. Robson gets through his work in defense, but I feel like he needs to push more in attack to really get the Cowboys going because they've struggled to get going lately. So I feel like and I also feel like Robson's playing for an Origin jersey.
Yeah, fair
whereas
enough.
Grant's already got that locked up.
Yeah. I just feel Cowboys are struggling to start games and also finish games off. But it comes to Melbourne. Titans defending in the second half against Melbourne were really strong. So
Yeah.
it's like, can Cowboys break that momentum they're coming into this game, especially at home for the Titans? And, Harry Grant's just reliable in the middle, makes most of his tackles. No Hughes, so probably more on Harry Grant's shoulder. So obviously more hands on the ball. Might try and scoot himself, play a bit of a short ball instead of going out the back to Wishart, which is probably more dangerous.
Yeah.
So, he might bag a couple tries.
Just pulling out the averages, could you guess what their average scores are?
Probably the same.
Mate, 100%. They're the exact same. Do you know what it is for a wild guess?
54?
50.
Yeah.
They're both averaging 50.
Yeah, I mean, they're both guns. But if I was to say this week, I'd still say Harry Grant.
All right. I'd say Robson. But both are great players. So if you've got at least one of them, you're in a good spot. Yep. Is Latrell an option this round? Makes his comeback up against the Dragons, away game, starting a fullback. What do you reckon?
Depending on who you have in your squad, really, like everyone's different. But for me, the injury to happen hasn't forced my decision, and I've decided to play him.
Yeah.
As I have Bronze Latrell in my squad. I say if you're
don't even have Latrell.
If you're struggling with injuries and he's there, play him, but don't expect a 80-plus week. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Latrell's coming back. Let's not even focus on Origin or him playing for a jersey. He's kind of ruled himself out, I don't even know that's a thing. Struggling South Sydney side. Dragons were tough and gritty last week, but didn't get the win. They're at home. I think they've got an opportunity to get the win against Rabbitohs, who they don't have the best record over in recent years. So I think it's important for them. I don't think Latrell will be back to his firing best. You never see Latrell return with a bang. He's just not that type of guy. He warms up into it and then he's almost unstoppable. Yeah. I wouldn't play Latrell this week. I wouldn't consider him an option.
Fair enough.
Josh, this is the last question. It's a big one. It's a very important one as well. I'm actually, it's something I've been questioning myself with. Are Isako and Garrick locks for the wing position this week, or would you go with anyone else? And when they say anyone else, obviously we don't have unlimited wingers in our squads, but this particular individual was asking around To'o or Mulatalo as well. But if we think of Isako and Garrick, which is where the question started, Isako and Garrick will be versing each other because Dolphins vs Manly opened the round. And then you've got someone like To'o coming up against the Bulldogs and then Mulatalo against the Storm. I wouldn't play Mulatalo personally. I think the Storm's defense is, we didn't see against the Titans, but apart from that, it's almost second to none. Yeah,
I think if people are worried about playing Garrick and Isako this week, I think there's no worry because they are on opposite sides. So I don't think they're going to affect.
Yeah, they're both right side players.
They're both going to attack the same they always do. Goal kicking as well, so that's just another bonus. To'o this week, if you're going to play, I think probably third option, if they were your options, if you had all those players. Dogs defending very well this year. I think top 4 in points per tackle ratio. I read it up, some stat on Instagram. But
some Bulldog stat.
No, it's actually a stat. I'm not sure who it was.
But To'o's playing... Correct me if I'm wrong. To'o's been playing left side. Taruva's been scoring all the tries on the right. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so To'o's left side. Well, who's your right side defense?
It's going to be Kiraz and Critter, which is
that's your stronger side in defense, isn't it?
Correct.
So now I don't know about playing To'o.
So defensively, I think if you're looking for a game, I'm pretty sure. Dolphins and Manly going to be a high scoring game.
I could see that being like a 30-24 sort of full-time score.
Yeah,
I'd play those two.
Yeah.
But if I had to go with another winger, just looking on the matchups.
I'm trying to think now. Trying to think of another winger. It's tough, eh?
Do you think Broncos will have a field day against Para?
Listen, bro, let's not talk about Broncos wingers.
Yeah, let's not.
It's like Cobbo let me down. I just can't back him again.
Would you go Lomax? He's back on the wing against the Rabbitohs. I'd go Lomax if you got Lomax.
Another goal kicker, yeah. For sure.
Lomax, Gary Kasako, they'd be mine.
Go through them.
Yeah, that wraps up the fan questions this week. So we'll get into stats don't lie. Do you have a stat with us, or do you want me to bless you with something that would not be that is Bulldogs related actually?
Oh, it is Bulldogs.
It is Bulldogs related.
Oh, okay, let's go.
All right, beautiful. Let's roll straight into it, mate. In the last 6 games against the Dogs, Penrith have averaged 34 points against them. With Cleary back, this could be a big win incoming. Actually, guys, given that Cleary's back, to jump on that last question, I don't mind putting To'o in because we know when Cleary plays, he gives access to To'o a lot more than what Luai would.
But does Cleary shift to the left much?
So you see them keep going right side, and then when they're not ready for it, bang, goes left, and the ball spreads all the way to To'o. That's how I see it happening.
No, I just see big critter reading and taking an intercept.
Here we go. Averaging 34 points against the Dogs. Let's go back to the stat, Josh. 34 points.
That's fine. You just need to score more than 34 to win.
It's true.
Right.
But the points come off the back of Cleary. I think you play him this week. And I'm thinking of an outside back who will score really well. Back on that winger question, Taruva could be in for 3 tries.
Not against Foxy, mate. I don't like
It could happen. It could happen. I
usually like your stats. I usually like your stats, but I don't like this one.
All right, let me know if you like this one because it's against. It's kind of against Parramatta, your second favorite club. Yeah.
Yeah. Skip.
Last year, the Broncos put a total of 80 points up against Parramatta in 2 games.
Ooh.
This week, Para are without Gutho for the first time in forever. I think Reece Walsh would bounce back well. Would Yourself and Cobbo bounce back well?
It's tough. You know, Adam Reynolds is such a big influence on them.
But with Reynolds out,
yeah,
does Walsh get handed the keys?
He does. He really does. Para not looking confident at all.
If you look at Para as well, just want to pull out the team list to show you guys. Like they've got Simonson on the wing, Sean Russell, Blaise Talangi playing his first ever game at fullback.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right decision up against the grand finalists of last year.
Honestly, I can see Stags having a field day as well.
Yeah, I just think this is just a desperate call from Arthur.
How hasn't he lost his job? That's actually my fan question.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know either.
But what do you reckon? Broncos backline dominate?
Yeah, I just think they're probably gonna put. I'm not gonna say 50 because we all know the stat. So just put 50 to can't win.
Well, they're averaging 40. If you want to take it like that, they scored 80 points in the last 2 games.
It really does depend how perfect can Walsh be because last week it seems like he was just off. It seems like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
It could be the whole Broncos lineup. I'm not too sure. But they need a perfect performance to put 50 on them. So
yeah. I don't think they put 50. I think they put 30.
I also don't see Para scoring points. That's another thing.
Yeah. So. I see Stags having a good day. So,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's that.
Yeah.
Any prediction for this week to wrap us up? We want to let you guys know, actually, that we'll be Magic Round. So for our Queensland fans, send us a message and we'll try to link up over there.
100%.
But yeah.
Prediction?
Do you have any sort of, any prediction on anything really? Who's going to top score? Anything around the games or?
All right. Who's going to top score? I'm going top scorer of round 10 is going to be this is tough. This is really tough. I'm going to say Payne Haas.
Yeah, say Payne Haas.
I reckon that's not a high percentage play there. I reckon not a lot of people will say Payne Haas, but he's going to score a try this week. He's going to score a try. It's very rare for Payne Haas to score a try. So
looking for a forward to top the score. You're picking a forward. Okay.
Very rare.
Just because of the ability and what he could probably get through.
Power. Yeah. My call. What about you?
All right. Well, my prediction for this week is that James Tedesco and Reece Walsh both score 70 plus. Teddy put it on him last week, and I think Teddy's going to back up well against the Warriors. Finally, can I say finally we have a full team as Roosters?
Are you worried the Warriors haven't won a game in 2 weeks?
That don't worry me at all.
Fair enough.
I'm actually thinking Roosters 13 plus as well.
Post-game, Martin looked like he became a vlogger.
That's fine. Let him vlog all he wants. He's been vlogging the whole season, mate, but you haven't been paying attention because you're too worried about your Bulldogs. But I look at this bench from the Warriors, comparing it to ours just quickly. Walker, they've got that guy, Tom Ale, Jess Tavanga, Adam Pompey. Does that scream anything at you? I'm not. Look at the Roosters bench. Connor Watson, Nafahu White, Spencer Leniu, Terrell May. 13 plus, honestly, 13 plus. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. There's enough said there. So I think Walsh has that bounce back game and Teddy backs up again. So both of them to score over 70. That's my prediction.
Beautiful. And Doggies win 14 plus.
And that's where we end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, jump on our SportsShed TV content. Like I said, we'll be there at Magic Round. So for everyone north of that beautiful border, which we will talk some smack about leading up to Origin.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going to be at Magic Round, and we'll try to catch up with those who are expert coaches, and we can go through our squads and meet in person, which would be great. So yeah, let us know and enjoy your week. Good luck, and hopefully I go up 6-4.
Nah. I hope not.
All right.
5-5. All right.
See ya.